Hey sippers, welcome back to a gossip channel. If you're new here, you know what to do. Like this video, share if you care. Now, Jason Lee interviewed a Jamaican voodoo, or what they often call a witch doctor, brought him on his podcast. And Jason Lee at this point is so obsessed with Nicki Minaj. Why does every last one of his guests is asked a Nicki Minaj question, or somehow Nicki Minaj name, gets involved? Now, this guy, the witch doctor, his name is RT Boss, and he was basically telling Jason Lee, Nicki's gonna appear on your show one day. And Jason Lee was like really shocked. He was like, what? So the witch doctor continued by saying, she watches you. She watches your show. Now, I'm annoyed. Because first of all, how did Nicki name came up? Like the witch doctor, be for real. Jason Lee prompted you to mention Nicki Minaj's name, because Nicki's over Jamaican TikTok, engaging with Jamaican culture and people, and she is loved in Jamaica. And I think Jason Lee has an issue when Nicki is loved. Like, she is really enhancing her stardom. She's gaining so much respect, supporting small artists, and she's really, impacting the culture. I think Jason Lee is just so fearful that Nicki's never going to go anywhere. And mind you, this witch doctor is allegedly known for, destroying people's careers. So is it that Jason Lee is really trying to build a connection with him so he could probably destroy Nicki's career? I think Jason Lee is so mad, seeing the accomplishments and seeing Nicki thriving. You mentioned that Nicki was the worst rapper of the century. And now, Nicki's ranked number one, the world's greatest female rapper in history on Billboard. And that really, killed every bad and negative comment you made about Nicki Minaj. Now instead, people are actually looking at you like, what do you have to say now? I think it's really sad, considering that Nicki is a black female rapper who's just so successful. And Jason Lee is a man who's supposed to be cheering on and clapping for females. But instead, you're dragging this woman's name in the mud, painting her image every day as something bad. I want you guys to stick around, till the end of the video, because I'm going to drop the video where the witch doctor and Jason Lee was having the conversation. Because I want you guys to really understand what I'm saying. Like, Jason Lee, it's given obsession. It's given obsessed with Nicki Minaj. Like, what is his problem? I think he wanted to be friends with Nicki, and Nicki basically said, no, you're too messy, probably immature. I don't need people like you in my corner. There's just people who I'm never going to be friends with. And I think Jason Lee cannot handle rejection. I remember when he tried to basically approach Beyonce at an event, and she pretended as if, she never saw him. Like, she basically ignored his whole presence. And then a couple months after, he came on a podcast. I think it was Angela Yee podcast. And he was basically telling people, I have a bad story on Beyonce. And Jason Lee mentioned, Jay-Z tried to call me to stop it from coming out. Everybody could get a flower from Beyonce, but I can't. You're just so jealous. You can't handle rejection. If someone decides they don't want to speak to you, you try to dig up some foul, crazy story about them. You're so vindictive. You try to swing the corner to come back at them with something so low and harsh. Jason Lee was basically asking this witch doctor, have you worked with Nicki Minaj? Did you read Nicki Minaj? And the witch doctor kept on saying, she supports me by giving me a shout out, but she has never supported my business and allowing me to do work for her or to read her. I think Jason Lee is weird. He was basically trying to imply that the reason why Nicki is probably so successful is because she's doing voodoo. She's working with this witch doctor. But the witch doctor said, I don't think Nicki's into what I do. She gave my business a shout out, but she has never worked with me. I think she has a boundary. And I love that the witch doctor really made that clear, because Jason Lee was so ready to tell people, Nicki's successful because she's working with a witch doctor. And then he proceeded by saying, you know what? I don't have bad blood with Nicki Minaj. We're so in a good place. Boy, you and Nicki in a good place? Nicki for certain is in a good place, and she don't know you. You're acting as if you and Nicki speak on the phone, or you and Nicki have friendship, or, a conversation. Nicki's in a good place, honey, because you know what? She made over $200 million on the Gag City tour. And she made a lot of money on her album. Hence why she's in a good place. Plus being ranked as #1 as the world's greatest female rapper on Billboard. So yeah, you're right. She's in a good place. But how about you though? Nicki knows how to keep the people talking, honey. She knows how to get on the people's skin. I think Nicki has outdone herself. Like, she is so successful. Like, what else is there, honey? Nicki's like a brand, Pink Friday. You cannot forget Nicki Minaj. You could forget Cardi B because, honey, there's no substance and value in Cardi B's song or music, but you cannot forget a Nicki Minaj. And Jason Lee's like, oh, I don't have no bad blood, about her. And boy, you mentioned that Nicki was the worst rapper of the century on Wild 'N Out. And of course, you don't have anything else to say that's bad, because she's actually thriving and being so successful, regardless of the bad derogative things you have to say. She's actually making y'all look so foolish on the internet because she's winning. You say she's the worst rapper, and then boom, she being ranked as the #1 greatest female rapper. You're gonna look funny. So of course, there's nothing bad you could ever say about her. It's so funny. You say something bad about her being the worst rapper, and then boom, she's ranked as the world's greatest rapper, #1, even above the MCs like Missy Elliott and Lil Kim and Queen Latifah. So there's nothing bad you could ever say. You could probably bring up the fact that, she doesn't have a Grammy. And at this point, you have a really good, credible artist who doesn't have a Grammy. Will Smith, it took him years for him to get an Oscar, and he's like an icon, the world's biggest and toughest actor. So at this point, the Grammys are rigged. I don't think the Grammys are so important. Like, it doesn't define talent to me. Okay? Having a trophy doesn't define talent, because guess what? Cardi B doesn't write all of her music, and she got one. I wouldn't classify that as talent. She's being rewarded for someone else's work. Precisely. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know what y'all think down below in the comment section. Do y'all believe Jason Lee is really obsessed with Nicki Minaj? Like, the man really interviewed a witch doctor or a voodoo personnel who speaks about prophecy and reading people. Honey, let us see the comments. Like this video, click post notification bell, and see you guys some other time. And thank you so much for always sipping with us.